Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow, Chapter 5. As today, bit of a hard sell, but we've made at least a few noteworthy discoveries, and it would seem that while we don't quite have it all locked up, Wayne does hold the keys. So let's go see what he has to say. Stella's grip is firm and warm and reassuring. And together, you make your way down the hall to the source of the eerie music. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters, a network of cramped passageways hidden away behind the expansive rooms of the estate, without so much as a window for illumination. Something about this place seems familiar. For some reason, I can't help but think that if Wayne lives here, then slaying him would probably be doing him a favor. But you persist and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet Estate, the echoing piano your only company. Soon enough, you see light again. The sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceiling and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. But as you make your way into one of the side rooms, utterly dark save for the open doorway in the far wall, the music stops. There's no warning, no gentle fade or dramatic slamming of keys. When you make your way to the music room, Wayne is already standing, his eyes glimmering in the darkness behind his stained veil. I'd hoped you'd come alone. Well, you'd better get used to me being around, because your days of harassing Retcon are over. From now on, you'll have to harass the both of us. That's all right. You can enjoy your slattern. You and I are already bound by our fates. All right, buddy, ease up on the old-timey insults. I was this close to coming around to your side. You need to come to understand that if you expect to help anyone, yourself included, you're running out of time. He slips away into the shadows. Oh. Okay, well, I guess that's that then. What did he just call me? Whatever. Let's just leave, yeah? Now? I think we've seen enough. And the floor down here feels like it could give way and throw us down the cliff at any second. Yeah, it's not great. This is not a good place to be. Let us withdraw, I guess. Man, I really... The warmth you and Stella shared last night seems to fall apart in the fresh air, shaken by the unearthed secrets of your family's past. A tense silence holds between the two of you as your mind does its best to grapple with what you found. What a relief that we're finally out of that awful place. It's not fit for humans anymore, and it's certainly not fit for dogs. I'd say it's best left to the wretched little things like rats and opossums. Only God's least favorite creatures should be subjected to so much mold. Oh, Gretch. Alright, sure. Also, we've got ditchlings. I'm seeing at least 3, most prominent top left. No real surprise, but it does imply something's looming. The cell, the doll, Enoch's occult sanctuary, the boy in the wall, and his outfits in Edwardine's closet. Is it possible your cousin has known about all of this? Your eyes dart back up to Stella. Her gaze is fixed on some non-existent point far off in the distance, and you can only try to imagine what she might be thinking. Maybe she feels you're connected in some impossible way to what you've just discovered, like you carry whatever went on there in your blood. And Tabitha, who had lived under the same roof as that cell her entire life. This silence feels like a terrible thing, like detritus clogging the air, suffocating the fragile growth of a barely formed relationship. There's a feeling that the longer you wait to say something, anything, the more your tentative relationship will unravel, second by second. So say something. Say anything. Just break this awful silence already. Oh boy. I mean, she likes me, but she's known Tabby way longer, so we don't want to get too aggressive here. I've got to ask, do you think Tabby knows? What? Absolutely not. Tabby's not the kind of person to lock someone away in some sort of dungeon. I know her. She's not the sort of person who would keep something like that hidden from me. I mean, she might not have had much choice. How about you, Gretch? You've known Tabby longer than I have. Do you think she could have possibly known about all this? Do I? You're certainly putting me in a delicate position, Retcon. I have a distinct distaste for her feline companion, as you know. But she does seem to take good care of the damnable thing, despite its limited capacities in expressing any kind of affection, and that I must commend. Though you seem to hold a certain discomfort about the woman, and I can't say I blame you. She and that cat have more in common than not. She's whimpering. Okay, I get it, but if we're not going to Tabitha, then what are we supposed to do? We have to do something. Oh, shoot. I was really hoping we could push through a few more of those explore options before we moved on. I mean, look. I am actually surprised we did not find a stone while we were there. Which does really raise the question of where we're headed from here. Though ultimately, I think all roads do lead towards Tabby. Alright, look, I guess there's no sense in delaying the inevitable. We've got questions, and there's only one person who can give us proper answers, even if she's not necessarily going to be happy that we're trying to get them out of her in the first place. Yeah, unless you're planning on hiding from her until the bus comes on Monday. And even then, I'd still have to see her. I live here, you know? So, let's see what she has to say, and if it's bad. Let's not think about it being bad until something bad actually happens, okay? Okay. The mine seemed quiet today. There are no miners milling around on the surface with sandwiches and cigarettes, trying to draw out the minutes before returning to their coal-dusted stations. Interesting. Wasn't there a strike? The only sound is the constant, low industrial clanking of unending productivity. The only sign of life, the slow-moving machinery beyond the rickety chain-link fence. The Scarlet Hollow mines are ticking along, as they always have. Interesting. Feels like the whole strike subplot just kind of resolved off-screen. I wonder if that would have changed if we'd palled around with Kanika more often. She did seem like she was a bit more involved in that particular plot. Well, regardless of the reason, there's nothing here to stop you from seeing your cousin. All right, looks like the coast is completely clear. You and Stella make your way through the front gates and up the short path to your cousin's office. Stella doesn't bother to knock before twisting the door open and confidently stepping into the trailer. Tabby! Stella? Retcon? What are you doing here? Why are you holding a shotgun? I clean it sometimes. Guns need that kind of thing. You know that. Uh-huh. And this one has seen more action lately than usual. Need some attention. That's all. Anyway, the two of you must have gotten a late start if you're only just swinging by to bother me. Long night, huh? Let's not do the small talk today, Tabby. Please. Stella pulls up a chair, and the two of you sit down across from your increasingly anxious cousin. Oh, is that Pearl Ann there? I think that might actually be the first time we've seen what she looked like as an adult. Also, the fact that Tabby's still holding her shotgun is not a great sign. Hey, I didn't say you could sit. We just came from the Forbidden Wing. Tabby, have you been there? What a dreadful place. You know, it says something about a lady, the way she manages her home. Stella's question is answered with silence. Your cousin's eyes dart away, unable to meet your gaze or Stella's, as she avoids the answer. Oh. You wouldn't believe what we found in there. The things your family hid from you. Oh, I'm torn. Do we want to weigh in here, or do we just want to let Stella take the lead? I feel like we've done a decent job of bonding, right? Like, right up to the point where she was essentially our wingman with Stella. Oh, scratch that. Like Enoch's study. It was behind an old bookcase, and there was all this occult stuff in there. And old vials with notes in them, like he'd been preserving them or something. It was so weird. What? Like being into the occult is that surprising? He was a rich man in the early 1900s. Of course he was into the occult. That was like a hobby back then. You know I know that. I wouldn't have come all the way out here if that was it. But there was this other room where someone had tried to hide these big meat hooks behind a curtain with a drain underneath and what looked like old blood stains. We also found these old clothes in Grandma Eddie's room. Boys' clothes. And a freaky note that looked like it might have been written in blood. It said, "I'm still in here and I love you," or something. I don't know what that means, but it was in plastic. She clearly wanted to keep it. She is staring at us a lot, just waiting for us to say something, I think. Look, we're not trying to jump to conclusions. We just want to... I'm sure you can explain this, is what I would have said. But none of that is even important, because at the end of it all was this cell. A prison cell. Somebody was being kept in there. We found these old notebooks talking about a boy living in the walls, too. And I feel like it's all connected. Especially since there was this creepy old doll in there. I just feel like maybe your family was keeping some of their own kids in that room. She does not look happy. And just before we left, we ran into Wayne, and I'm pretty sure he's the one who made sure we found it. But I don't know why. He was all mysterious and called me some old curse word and left. There, that's everything, okay? It's all laid out on the table. I mean, it's not, but that is the broad strokes, I suppose. Minus the stuff about her father, or some of the other bits and bobs. Alright, again, let's not be confrontational. We're just looking for answers. Tabby, Perlan only passed away recently, so maybe you just didn't know about all this? And even if you did, maybe there's some way you can make this all make sense. We're trying to understand. Please. Oh, okay, that landed. Tabby, we came to you because we wanted to hear you out on all this. If you didn't know what your family had back there, just tell us. If you're keeping secrets, just tell us. When Stella finishes, your cousin gathers herself and locks onto you with a steel gaze. I see how it is, Retcon. I come save your ass. I help you find Stella, let you two spend the night getting to know each other, while I go home to pass out for managing the mine and chasing after you all day. And how do you repay me? By convincing her to break into my house? My house! And dig through old family secrets like they're set dressing in a soap opera. You notice your cousin make an odd twitch, some unnatural movement hidden behind her desk. Panic button. Or the shotgun, but let's maybe hope for the former rather than the latter. You're not fooling me, Retcon. I see it now. Using my own naive hope to try and get close to my only friend. Also, you could turn her against me. Isn't that right? Tabby, come on. That's not what's going on at all. I want to hear it from Retcon. Oh man, I don't know if any of these are really going to help. What was that you just did there? You did something behind the desk. What did you just do? Hey, let's not get so suspicious of each other. It was just a twitch. No, it wasn't. Retcon here is sharp. Not that it matters that you noticed. What's done is done. Perlan had a switch installed in the desk ages ago. A direct line to the police. Clearly, we need a mediating party. And now, one is on its way. But I'm here. I can mediate. I'm good at that. How's this? Tabby, I know you're not to blame for anything we found in the estate. Clearly, your family has a long legacy of keeping secrets, and I know you feel like we violated your trust by going into the closed-off wing and looking for clues, but look on the bright side. Now we can all try to get on the same page. Doesn't that sound good? Aren't you lonely, keeping all these secrets? Please, Tabby. I don't want this to end with anyone being dragged off by the police. And with what we have on you, don't you think there's a possibility it won't be Retcon who winds up in handcuffs? Oh, do you have any evidence of these supposed crimes? Or just footage of old rooms? Maybe an even better question would be, would you even be willing to use it if you did? Oh, okay, kind of a mask off there. As much as I can tell you, like Retcon, you've known me much, much longer. I doubt you'd ultimately be willing to turn in an old friend like me. I don't think Retcon is capable of that much persuasion. The sound of an approaching police siren interrupts the argument before any further points can be made. I hope you had fun last night, Retcon. I doubt the jail is going to be nearly as comfortable. I don't know how much this is actually her, because for a short while she actually seemed genuinely remorseful. But we also know that she might be under the influence of, like, Sybil's tea. We did have a moment that was very conspicuously absent from the recap, where our own brain started arguing with us whilst we were debating her potential involvement in this whole thing, right after we drank some of her tea. And we know that Tabby's also been drinking it. Tabitha, the only reason I came out here is because you invited me. Your mother passed away, like mine did. I came out here to help you. Don't you try that emotional manipulation bullshit on me. You think I don't know a freeloader when I see one? I came here for you. Oh yeah? Not the free lunch? I doubt it. Tabby, you can't just act like everyone who's helping you is some master manipulator. Stella, quiet. Tabitha sighs, a certainty settling over her. I do wish I could be honest, you know. Or really, I wish honesty would do anything. But it's not going to keep the minds running. It's not going to fix the things that are actually broken around here. Because that's what the Scarlets do. At the end of the day, we keep the machinery oiled, we make sure its components are replaced when they break. It's a legacy I have to maintain, as cruel and unglamorous as it might seem to anyone else. And I'll keep shouldering that burden alone for as long as I have to. It's what I was born for. You too, Retcon, though you've been neglecting it for a long, long time. Yeah, that's why my mother moved away, because she didn't want me beholden to all this bloodline bullshit. Which I suspect is the real reason we were invited back. Not for the funeral, but because Tabby here let slip that she was infertile. So I am literally the last hope to perpetuate the Scarlet bloodline. Could also just have use for our blood. I mean, that might be the fate of all the mysterious disappearing or dying Scarlet family members. Sacrifices made to perpetuate some sort of dastardly deal. There is a knock at the office door. Miss Scarlet, permission to enter? You were called, weren't you? Come on in. The door swings open, and Deputy Franklin, the sternest member of the Scarlet Hollow's police force, walks in. Is that the mayor's goon? At Tabitha's beck and call? Yes, I'd recognize that wretched leather stink anywhere.
Well, isn't this a pleasant coincidence? I've been looking for you all morning, city slicker. You're in a lot of trouble, kid. Too much trouble to let you keep wandering around, causing mayhem.
Oh, so you were already planning to take my cousin in then?
As a matter of fact, I was, yes, Miss Scarlet. See, there have been all these problems around town lately, and,
I don't need any explanation. Go ahead. Be my guest. I want an explanation. What could you possibly be arresting Retcon for? Stella, don't interfere. You and I can talk after Retcon joins the deputy. Talk? Without him?
Really? You're handing your last living relative over, no objections? You won't have me fired for abuse of power or anything? Oh, yeah. Even Franklin knows something's off here.
No. I think some time under lock and key will do my cousin some good. Now, if you could take care of this outside, Miss Richmond and I would appreciate it. No point in trying to incriminate her, obviously. Even this brief banter makes it pretty clear she essentially controls the police. Playing the family card also feels like it's probably counterproductive. I mean, her whole spiel there is basically that she's burdened by her family's bloodline. That's why she's stuck in the situation she's in now in the first place, so, I mean, we'll try this, I guess. Tabby, I can't believe you're doing this. I know we never really knew each other growing up, but I thought in the short time we'd known each other that... I thought we were friends. We bonded. We shared things. Was that all just an act? Go ahead, officer. This has already wasted enough of my time. Deputy Franklin nods, whipping out his handcuffs. A single, smooth police academy motion is all it takes, and the cuffs are locked around your wrists. So it'll just be the three of us again, just like old times. How lovely. Gosh, thanks, Gretch. As you're dragged from the office, Stella calls out to you one last time. It's okay, Retcon. Me and Tabby are going to work this out. Then we'll come get you and everything will be okay. I promise. Officer Franklin drags you from the office and towards the squad car, tossing you into the back seat and slamming the door. As you're shoved into the car, a voice crackles over the radio.
Franklin, pick up already. We ain't got all day, boy.
Apologies, Sheriff. I was just apprehending Retcon, as discussed over the radio.
That's nice and all, but we need you up at the farms pronto. Got ourselves a possible 187 brewing.
10-4. Damn, this day just keeps getting crazier. Suppose you'll have to come along for the ride.
Deputy Franklin wastes no time in turning on the sirens, blasting down the road towards whatever emergency is underway, with you in tow. This is possibly one of the few times he has ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there is definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. As the car pulls up to the farms, you feel it again. A tingling at the back of your skull. An urgency, almost like a hand pressing you gently forward, with the threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. Like so much crying. Crying that can only stop if you tend to it. There is another stone here, and it is refusing to let you ignore it. Deputy Franklin gets out of the car, leaving you in the back as he joins the assembled crowd. All right, Sheriff. What's the situation? Bo got tired of waiting for y'all to come do your jobs, so he took it upon himself to go investigate the Tremaine household. And he ain't come back out, and it's been hours. Irma, I'll do the honors of briefing the officers on your current situation. You can go back to the house and let us handle it from here. But y'all don't know about all his traps and whatnot. Duke was always saying not to go in there on account of the Tremaine insanity. It's all right, ma'am. We're the police. Facing dangerous situations is our job. The woman, who you take to be Bo's mom, reluctantly returns to the porch of her house, watching the other building intently as the officers talk amongst themselves. Franklin, you're with me. We're headed on in to get a handle on the situation. Derrickson, you listen in from the squad car. Hopefully we can settle this without you, but you're our backup if things go south. All right? Yes, sir. Think there's any hope for the hostage? Been awful quiet. If you ask me, I don't suspect there is a hostage. Not anymore. We'll more likely be giving the doc a call once this is all settled. With a tip of his hat, Hugby signals to Franklin, and the two make their way up the hill towards the old farmhouse. Hey there, Retcon. Sorry you had to come along for the ride. We'll have you back at the station soon enough. Sounds like this won't take long to settle. I mean, yeah, most of you are probably about to die. In the meantime, I'll keep you company. The thing calling out to you is starting to lose its patience. You need to find a way out of here, before it gets angry. Hey, so look, I'm not trying to be difficult or anything, but I don't think I was ever even properly arrested. No one listed any charges, I wasn't read any rights, so could you maybe let me go and, you could maybe deal with the dangerous hostage situation without me? Pretty sure I haven't actually done anything wrong. Oh, I'm sure you haven't. But that's why we're going to bring you in to answer a few questions, so we can prove as much. And if we see that you really aren't a threat to the town, then we'll let you go. And that'll be that. Oh, sure, yeah, that sounds entirely reasonable, so you just need to ask me some questions. I can understand that, given some of the things happening around town lately. But if you are just bringing me in to ask a few questions, and I am not under arrest, I feel like we could maybe lose the handcuffs. It does feel like they might be a bit superfluous. I would, but you're all the way back there, and I'm all the way up here. And I just got comfortable. Plus, I got no backup. Can't do anything without backup. Have some patience. This will be over soon. Just like I said. Yeah, that is very reassuring, especially with how you looked at me in the rear view just a second ago. You don't really think Bo is already dead up there, do you? I mean, I've got to say, you're acting awfully casual, if he is. I'd love to be wrong about this. I really would. It'd be a real shame, considering what poor Irma's already been through this week. But Bo's a big man. Hard to keep a big man like that from moving around and making a fuss. And we've seen a whole lot of nothing going on in there. Still as the grave, if you'll pardon the expression. Alright, well, if you're bringing me in, do you also have tabs on Wayne? I feel like I brought him up with you at least once. The former miner, the guy who used to date Tabby. He's been following me around town. Breaking into places. Threatening me. I'm not saying he's behind whatever it is that you think I've done, but he does seem like the sort of person you might want to talk to. A stalker, huh? Look, I'll level with you. There's not much we can do about a stalker until they do something a little more incriminating than follow somebody around. So you let us know when that happens, and we can see about helping you out. In the meantime, we'll keep you safe and sound down at the station, where no boogeyman can get you. Great, thanks. Alright, well, I don't really see any of these other ones getting any significant results. Yeah, I mean, threatening him, spouting crazy esoteric bullshit. None of it's going to go the way that we would want it to. So, I mean, at this point, I think our best bet is just to wait for the dominoes to start to fall. I will be curious to see how many of these guys actually make it out alive, though. I'm gonna guess probably just Franklin. Nothing else to do but wait. There is a sound coming from the house on the hill. Shouting, angry and panicked. A frantic voice crackles over the radio. Derrickson, come in. The sheriff is down. Those damn traps. Irma wasn't kidding. Keep it together, Franklin. Is he breathing? And what's the status on Tremaine and Calloway? Something in the basement. Going down now. You hear an ungodly noise over the radio. A gunshot. And then, static. Franklin, report. But there is only silence. Damn it, Franklin. Deputy Derrickson hesitates briefly outside your door, as if hoping someone might leave the farmhouse without his getting involved. But after a few seconds, he's heading up the hill, yelling something to Irma. And then a figure appears outside of the car door. Hey, Wayne. What's up? A moment later, you hear the click of a lock. Time to go. You get out of the car, your body moving on instinct. Wow, I've got to say I did not see things going in this direction. The stone is louder outside. Its song is buzzing in your ears, drowning out the world, calling you up the hill towards the old farmhouse. Though I suppose they have been setting up the pumpkin dispute for a while now, and the farms did appear on Enoch's map of landmarks. Plus, Bo did appear in the recap, along with the police discussing the pumpkin situation. I can't think. That's all you're able to sputter out. The buzzing drowns out your words. You can almost feel it pulling, your feet aching to move. It's all right. This will be over soon. I really would have preferred if we could do all this together. But the witch started it early. I should have known she would. The handcuffs fall away from your wrists. You weren't paying attention to what he did to make that happen, because it doesn't matter. You have somewhere to be. But she's at her most vulnerable now, and she won't be expecting you. So go on. I'll be watching. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. He gives you a hard shove forward, and then he's gone. But you're interrupted by yet another car pulling up to the scene. Irma, Retcon. I got paged by the sheriff. What the hell is going on here? Where are all the cops? The talking is just noise. Their words don't matter. There is a humming in your head, almost like a voice. One you can just barely make out. But you know it will be clearer the closer you get to the stone. You start wandering up towards the farmhouse at the top of the hill. Oh, come on! Where do you think you're going? But you continue forward. You barely even notice your hand slipping over the doorknob. And now, you're inside. Which I think once again brings us to a good place to call it. Yeah, I definitely did not see things moving in this direction, but at the same time, it does somewhat make sense. You know, they have been slow boil building up to this confrontation since episode 1. And I guess, although we never really picked up much in the way of hints that there was a stone at these farms, but, you know, much like with the strike subplot, that might just be because we explicitly have not been pursuing those particular plot threads. You know, if Duke had actually survived episode 1, for example, we might have spent a lot more time with him, Bo, and Irma, building up to this particular crisis event. And even without it, we did still get some hints. You know, the musical number back in episode 1, that did linger very pointedly on the pumpkin patch. Not to mention, of course, Enoch's landmark map, which did include the Tremaine Callaway communes, something like that. I have no idea what to actually expect in there, though. I mean, we read about a few potential beasts back in chapter 2 or 3. Wampus Cat, Tailipo, Mountain Lion. I mean, definitely not the Jersey Devil, at least. We know that one was actually Reese. But, I guess we'll find out. I'll see you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Era Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.